Today we're going to learn how to make one pan mashed potatoes, and we're using golden potatoes rather. I love golden potatoes because not only do they have this pretty yellow color, but they also taste, to me, they taste buttery. We're going to cut them up, and you can do that two ways. As I've gotten older, I do less and less fancy stuff. I have old-fashioned, actually, I'll show you what I have right here. This is what I use to grate with. These are probably 100 years old, and they're still sharp. These are much easier to wash and put away in my drawer than a big machine is. Now, if you're going to do something on a large scale, then of course you need, you know, an electric chopper or what have you. But if you're not going to do something on a large scale, then I say get your knife out, and the less you have to clean up, the better, I think.
Why do you like making one pan mashed potatoes?
They're fast. They're fast. I like anything that's, you know, the less steps. I don't have to clean up a colander. I don't have to dump those hot steamy potatoes in there and burn my arms. I don't have to fish potatoes out of the sink and wash them off. When you do traditional mashed potatoes, you lose all the good water because you dump it down the sink. And with these, you don't do that. So I'm going to take these over. We're going to rinse them. Get any dirt off of them or whatever that may be clinging on there. Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to put enough water in these. Let's start with 4 cups here. Sometimes people ask, how much water you put in there, or how much of this or that. I cook by ear, so I don't know most of the time. I've just done it so many times. So let's say we used about 3.5 cups of water there, because this looks about right. Okay, for every cup, we're going to use a teaspoon of my most favorite. Let's put these on the stove. Chicken bouillon, which is a Knorr brand. It has such good flavor. It dissolves well, and I've used it forever. So let's put about a teaspoon per cup. Now, this is a tablespoon, but in a tablespoon are 3 teaspoons. So this is going to take care of most of, we had about another half cup. Let's put about that much more in there. We're also going to put in some of my favorite granulated garlic. Again, I don't, maybe 2 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons. To me, you can't use too much garlic. I love garlic that much. So my other go-to seasoning is called Cavender's, and this is just kind of magic stuff. I found out about Cavender's years and years and years ago, and I just use it for almost everything. It's one of the first seasonings that goes in. Notice I don't put salt in until the last, because the bouillon has salt in it. It's salty rather, and this seasoning has salt in it as well. So we're going to get this started boiling up. Stir that a little bit. Get everything nice and melted down. Now I'm going to add the secret ingredient, my secret ingredient, which is sugar. Okay, and it doesn't need to be a lot. It shouldn't be a lot. The point of adding sugar is not to make the potatoes sweet. It just makes savory taste so much better. And that's why when you go out to eat, when we buy prepared foods, they taste good. Well, the reason why is because they do use sugar in their savory things and they use salt in their sweet things. And those two opposites kind of, they just complement each other. Okay, everything looks melted. Now we're going to cook them. We're going to turn them up, and we're going to get these puppies cooking. Okay, we're about 7 minutes in, and I'm going to take the lid off. You can see how they're cooking down. The liquid's getting thicker, but I've taken no liquid out. I haven't added any. a lot of the liquid from the potatoes will sweat out into your broth. And then we're just going to cook that down a little. And you kind of have to eyeball this part of it because that's just how you do it. And I'll show you that at what point, because these will get soft. They're starting to get soft now. And they'll be ready to mash here pretty soon. Okay, we're about, 10, 12 minutes into this process. I just turned the heat off. You can see how there's still liquid there, but it's pretty thick. And these now are ready. They're breaking apart just with a spoon. These are ready for me to add the butter. So let's take a fair amount of butter. I'm not sure exactly how much I'm going to use yet. I like butter though. We're going to put that in there. Melt it down. So you've taken nothing out of the pan. It's all cooked in there. The butter's going to have a little, make it a wee bit watery, but not too much. Because you don't want soupy potatoes, although if they do turn out soupy, eat them with a spoon because they're still going to be delicious. Okay, they're ready to mash. Right in the pan. We're going to mash them. Now this pan is a Teflon or whatever that is, non-stick pan. But I'm not scraping the bottom with this. And if you're afraid of scratching your pan, go ahead and get a plastic or rubber one. This is just a kind of an old-timey potato masher because it's been around for a while. Now, if you like your potatoes real fluffy, then you're going to have to bust out your hand beaters to make these fluffy. But a little on the lumpy side. There you go. You have your seasonings in, butter's in. Now what we're going to do is going to take them over here and we're going to I'm going to show you 3 different ways that you can finish dressing your potatoes depending on what you like. My guys are going to love this. Mm-hmm. Be like, did I die and go to heaven?
I love your mashed potatoes, and I do like them chunky too.
Yeah, these are nice and chunky. Well, let's put a chunk of cream cheese in it. Now, cream cheese is going to give you a yummy, creamy potato. Okay, let's put that over and let it melt down. We'll leave it alone there. The next one, we're going to put sour cream, and this one, we'll go ahead and stir it up. Sour cream, it's going to be creamy. It's going to have a little zest, a little zing to it. Finish that off with sour cream. Now, we're going to do these traditional. I have half and half, and I have some whipping cream, and I think I'm going to use the whipping cream. This is how traditionally we would have made potatoes. If we had cream, that would be like high cotton. These are what made it to Sunday dinners or special holiday dinners. Now, you can make these as creamy as you want. These are a little stiff still. You see some potatoes. Let's add a little half and half in there. You want to see how runny this is runnier than your cream. You saw your cream come out. It was kind of thick and this is a little runnier, but it still has half cream and half milk. So it's still going to be rich and delicious. And these potatoes, you put gravy on them, but you don't need gravy on them. And you can fry them in a frying pan the next morning, shape them up, and make a potato cake with them. Okay, that's more traditional. Probably a lot of you grew up with. Sour cream, a little zesty. Now, cream cheese potatoes remain stiffer because the cream cheese is stiffer. There you go.
A spoon stand.
Yep, there it is. So we have cream cheese, sour cream, traditional. You want to taste them?
Sure.
These are the cream cheese.
Thank you. Man, those are spot on.
Those are the sour cream.
Okay.
And then we'll get another spoon so you don't get cooties in my taters. And these are traditional. Oops.
Gosh, you know what's crazy? These are my favorite, actually. The sour cream ones. Is that the way you usually make them?
Depending on what you have in your refrigerator, even if you have like 2% milk, oh, I hate to say it, but if you had skim milk, you could still this potato is so good. The foundation of this potato with the seasonings and the butter is so good that it would even accept some skim milk and be wonderful. Yeah. So there you have it. Mashed potatoes 3 ways from one pot. I hope you enjoy. Let's dig in.